right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back today. We're playing more One Ring, 2nd edition. We are continuing our Forging of Shadow campaign, and we have graciously, yeah, that's it. Let Long come back and play. So
Thank
Long,
you,
welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any takers on who's excited to see me?
Your reward is that your character is in prison. So, let that be a lesson. Just saying.
But your character,
you're welcome.
You were not forced to take an oath that you weren't here to agree to. So there's that.
Forced.
No one was forced to take an oath.
Like anyone,
I don't think anyone was forced.
If he had gone with us, then there would have been an assumed oath taking there.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah,
I guess that makes a little bit of sense.
Autopilot oath.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're in a classic split party situation.
Yeah,
Classic
nobody reads terms and conditions, right?
Going to be at least 3 episodes of
split
party.
TOS was super long.
That's exactly. We just said, hey, I don't want to read that.
That's basically what you did. Like, yes, click yes,
skip,
yes,
skip,
yes,
skip,
yes,
skip,
yes, yes. Oh my gosh. God, I just want to load up my phone.
Scroll all the way down to the bottom to the enables the accept button.
Yep. So, anyhow, I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. I feel like things have gone
I'll just
very
spoil it for you. Not well.
We have 2 dwarves who have committed oaths to this place in this lord.
Fingers crossed behind your back, so it doesn't count. Yeah,
it doesn't. No. Let me see.
Blood enchanted over our hands. We're fucked.
No. I think dwarf fingers are too sausage-like. You can't actually cross your fingers. So sorry.
It is now canon that dwarves do not have the dexterity in their fingers to cross them. They're excellent craftsmen because they can't cross their fingers.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. The strength. It's the strength. They have very strong fingers. They're just not very agile. I don't know.
They constantly have those grip things that they're using just to bulk up their hands.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well, do we just want to do this? Just jump in and see how this goes?
We just want to see. Yeah. Because everyth's going to go great. Prison is like, it's white collar. It's like a white collar kind of prison. And
no, it's going to be like Oz. I said this as we were loading up. It's going to be like Oz from HBO. Be rough. Yeah.
I think at some point when we have like a very expected TPK coming, we should just prep the next campaign and then just like change the overlay halfway through the session and just start, the new campaign. Like we
could switch over and play the Shrike, which I've had for a while because because it's basically hell and you guys went to hell. But that doesn't really make sense for Tolkien stuff. But yeah, but like if we were playing like a random, like kind of fantasy game as opposed to very specific Middle Earth, I don't think it. Yeah, but yeah, you just kind of wake up like, oh crap.
I only did makeup on half my face, so no change in today. Sorry.
Whatever we change to, she's gonna stay a dwarf.
Normally, Ashley would yes and. However, costume and makeup was not prepped for that flexibility.
We switched to Blade 68, and she's still a dwarf in the 60s.
Play. They want to run Dwarf 68. Blade 68. Not Dwarf 68. Blade 68.
Steven, do you have a hat? Do you have a good hat for 60s?
I've got at least 4 hats within reach. I'm sure one of them will work.
Oh, okay. Not the one you're wearing though. Right. Just to
I'm talking.
Let you know.
You want me to start pulling out hats? I still have my Jay and Silent Bob hat right here too. I could wear this one. That was
fun. Ooh, I still have my yellow hoodie that I got for that. God, that was so hot too. That was also really hot. Why do we do this?
Hot.
I think I have a wig that would fit.
We should just play a game where everyone's we're all in the nudist colony or something, so we don't have to wear really heavy shit. Everything's like.
Jeff, if you want me to take my shirt off, I'll just.
It's like the backwards of the Zoom thing. It's like the backwards of the Zoom thing where you look like you don't have anything on, but underneath you're closed, or it's like the backwards of like the Zoom meeting where you're like very professional and like.
Why are you having with the
way, with the way our overlay is, I'm pretty sure all the nipples could be below camera, and we'll be within Twitch's terms of service. It's all good.
I think we'll be all right. Yeah.
We've problem solved our way to something.
So TPK this session, switch over to Blade 68. You guys, your crew is a bunch of nudists and nudist hippies.
Classy nudists.
Well, of course, yeah. Is there a different kind? I don't.
Yeah, we're nudists with like charcuterie boards.
Guys, I think I'm gonna have to get some self tanner. I will probably blind everyone. That's a danger in itself.
I'm with you with that.
All right. Well, let's do this. Last time around, episode 10, you continued to argue. We were outside of Amon Boglir, and you guys were arguing over what to do. One of the big tripping points for all of this was that you all know that the people within this Tyrant's Hill, which is another name for it, they raise and control and handle wargs, which are a creature of the shadow. And so that's kind of been something that has been kind of a hanging point for some of you. So you didn't want to do any kind of like negotiation or diplomacy or whatever. So eventually Agda and EDDA were like, you know what, we're going to take a direct approach. And as you were going up to the keep, you stopped to spy. And then while you were spying, you got caught. And you were led inside with an escort. Sin, Medwin, and CALVAIN, you waited until nightfall, and you hoped to climb over the wall, finding a soft spot in the security. Agda, EDDA, you were eventually brought before Mogdred, the Lord of Tyrant's Hill. You were fed, and you were convinced, though it didn't really take much convincing, to give an oath. The two of you gave an oath to serve Mogdred, to serve Amon Boglir, and to fight against Dol Guldur, which seems to be something that they are firmly opposed to. So your oath was given. You got released back into the wild, or basically back into the town to work in some fashion. Agda, I think it was, met with Heswith, and who was a friend of Wolfgar, your scout. And he affirmed his choice to serve here. This was his choice. This is what he wanted to do. Respect it. EDDA, you struggled a bit with your stonework, but everything was fine overall. Both of you did see a messenger come at night from Minas Throg, also known as the Demon's Tower. You heard all these whispers and chat amongst different people, and apparently it was sent by some kind of sorceress, was the term that was given. Sin, Medwin, CALVAIN, meanwhile, you were caught trying to infiltrate this fortress, this fort, and you were thrown into prison cells. And it's there that you found some additional woodmen who had not sworn an oath to Mogdred after they were caught supposedly trespassing on Mogdred's lands. And so that's where we ended up. So we're going to pick up. I think we're going to pick up at the prison. So it is very, very, very dark inside of here, to the point where there is really no light other than maybe a tiny thin slit underneath, like the cell door, or at least the jail door. There's a little bit of lantern light kind of wafting in, and that's really it. So the only thing you guys can really see are these kind of gray outlines, contours of several other people, including yourselves and including some other woodmen and other prisoners at this point. You're not entirely sure how much time has passed, but we'll say that, like you all were like recently brought some kind of food. So there's like this big slop on the ground, like this big, like giant bowl with some sort of strange, like half porridge, kind of liquidy stew kind of thing, chunks of uncertain meat and root vegetables inside that is being doled out. And so there we see Medwin, CALVAIN, and Sin. What are the three of you talking about at this point, you think?
I think Medwin's first order of business would be like taking stock. He would try to count like all the prisoners. He would try to see like what kind of condition they're in. Do any of them look sick or frail or anything like that? See what kind of, like, obviously, like, we had our like weapons taken from us, but like, do we have any tools that were smuggled in or anything like that? You know, classic just inventorying before we can figure out our options. So
I can give you some answers to that. So in terms of the amount of people here with yourselves, there's about 20 that are all kind of crammed together into what looks like one large general cell. There it doesn't look like you have any of the items that you would normally have that would provide mechanical use. So we're talking like your weapons were taking, your useful items were taking, that sort of thing. So you don't really have anything of value on you.
No one snuck in a file. No one thought to bring a file to prison. That would have been useful.
I mean, you guys did get caught unawares. So
I'm talking about the other 20 people. Like they're really letting us down with their lack of preparation.
They too were caught unawares. They came here not knowing that there was somebody here that was going to throw them into prison. The three of you came here knowing that there was somebody here who could potentially throw you into prison. So whose fault is this really?
Theirs. Okay. After like trying to, see what's available, seeing like how desperate the conditions are, Medwin would try to gather CALVAIN and Sin to like a corner. We got nothing but time at this point, and just try to see where their heads are. Obviously, he's like trying to conspire with them to plan an escape. Do we try to create a diversion? That seems pretty rudimentary. They would expect that, wouldn't they? How do we get out of here?
Bide our time for now. I mean, there's a lot of us, or a large group. Conditions aren't too well. And they don't come often. They're not really checking in on us, just to drop off the slop.
And if someone wishes to swear an oath, they release that person.
I'm sure the woodsman here will give in. They can't hold out for long.
That's what they have said to us. So that every day someone gives in. So the numbers are dwindling. So whatever we decide to do, it needs to be, if it requires numbers, then sooner rather than later. And Sin has been, just like Medwin's been taking stock of the people, Sin's been taking stock of their manacles and their shackles. Like, how are they constructed? How are they built?
Yeah, you basically, all of you are, you have these iron chain manacles to your legs and to your wrists, but they're not very tight. So there is freedom of movement, but they're very heavy. So you find yourselves like moving kind of sluggishly here and there. When you check to different folks around, those who have been here longer, you can see there's been some irritation, obviously, around ankles and wrists. Nothing to the point where it looks like anyone's in any serious threat. It's mostly just discomfort at this point.
Okay.
So we take a couple hours, see how this jail cell is. Who comes and goes?
That they will let us understand their patrols and things as well.
Test their preparation. And when if someone offers to swear an oath, they have to obviously open the door to let them out. How many guards do they bring? Are they lazy about it?
Absolutely.
One of us pretends to be dead. Maybe they have to drag a body out. We could attack. Be hard to overpower someone with these manacles, but it's better than wasting away in here, isn't it?
It is. I'm not sure I can perform being dead, but I can try.
CALVAIN, you elves are natural actors, are you not? Always performing those dramas and poetry.
Dead elf in a cell. It's hard to believe.
True, elves don't die very easily, do they?
Okay. So as you guys continue to talk and plan, you eat some of perhaps of this slop that is given to you. It does not taste good, but it doesn't seem poisoned. No one seems to grow ill in the hour or so afterwards. There is a very odd smell that starts to permeate within this cavern, and you can tell as your eyes adjust that this again is a it looks like it was carved from within a cave system as opposed to constructed. You don't see like layered stone. It's all natural rock. And there's this like horrific smell that begins to permeate. You also hear more than a few people begin to sort of panic a bit, and some seem on the verge of giving in, and you can hear the woodsmen talking their friends up to ensure it. I need the three of you to roll a valor test here.
Ooh.
As you are in a particularly dreadful situation. Let's call that. It's very dark.
I am not Medwin the Valorous.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Failure.
I rolled a failure, an 8 under 14.
Take 2 points of shadow. As the hours pass and no one comes back. Like they dropped off this slop and hours have passed and all you've heard are people panicking and lamenting this horrible taste of this slop, no clean water, and this terrible, terrible smell that permeates the cave. How did Sin do?
My bad rolls continue with failure.
It was a 5 under 15.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Very abysmal roll.
You know your last roll was an extraordinary success.
I know, but it wasn't
so I'm just
good
saying.
enough.
This story about you having bad roll.
But that was like 1,000 dice.
Okay. That's true.
We need the audience to get a spreadsheet of our rolls for this campaign, because I'm pretty sure that Long is like the loser.
Long
of
is
this
definitely the
campaign
worst.
so far.
He is the worst.
Wow.
Wow.
Not just that he's had bad luck, but he's a loser.
All three of you failed.
Well, it's
so
a competition.
all three of you.
All RPGs are.
All three of you take shadow. God, I hate playing. I hate playing this competition. 2 shadow for all three of you as the hours pass and hope begins to dwindle that anything's going to happen. We're going to cut back outside to where EDDA and Agda have currently taken up some kind of position around one of these large shared campfires. It's late at night. This is something that the captives probably wouldn't know. But the two of you know that it's very, very late at night. You hear the sounds of wargs howling and snarling. And you know that just recently, a group of 4 messengers, like these 4 dark horses, kind of came through the front gate and were led to the tower up the hill where you had met with Mogdred. And you heard this rumor, this scuttlebutt about messengers from Minas Rag or the Demon's Tower or the sorceress that the sorceress has replied, something like that. These little things. And this is what the two of you have heard. Once the messengers kind of disappear from view after a few minutes pass, like people kind of settle back into what they were doing, eating. Some people like have maybe a musical instrument out. Some are gambling with dice and various other things. And others look to be turning in and going to sleep. So what are the two of you doing in this moment? Knowing that you don't seem to have any watchers, you don't have manacles on. You swore an oath and you seem to have free reign. What would the two of you like to do?
I would say they probably want to talk up someone here. So kind of going in the more social direction. I've got pretty decent lore, so I'm kind of thinking of kind of trading some stories. So finding someone here who seems to be a bit talkative. And then maybe, I can share some Dwarven lore and stories and see if I can direct the conversation sort of towards what we think was just happening and what's up with this sorceress and whatnot. So I'm trying to be social.
Okay. And I don't know that lore is the role for that. Like that's the role for more knowledge thing. If you're trying to pull information from people, I would probably want something more like a persuade or a courtesy maybe, or anything like that.
Persuade works
for me is more brain. Okay.
Yeah, and I think from a flavor perspective, that's sort of how I'm getting there, like not kind of directly going at like, hey, that's sorceress, tell me about it, but kind of going in a more kind of let's tell stories and see how we get there. So I am going to give this a roll. Oh my gosh. I rolled a sorry, and then also failed. So 8 under 16.
What do you think goes wrong when you maybe approach this other group that's sitting around? You can see they're doing some kind of gambling. You're not sure what this game is. It's a series of like carved like stone or bone and various little plinths or like these little small things almost serving like plinths that they're kind of tossing the dice around, and you're seeing things fall here and there, and suddenly there's a cheer and suddenly someone punches another person and you're not really sure if you can follow the game. So what do you think goes wrong as you try to ingratiate yourself?
I would say she's just sort of kind of like walking around and kind of trying to talk to folks that are, kind of in the area. And she like asks a question a little too loud. That's like, oh, so did that one win because he had the whatever thing and the other one like didn't or whatever. So like I inadvertently like label like a bluff or something that just happened as I'm trying to like be the like curious person that's trying to figure out the rules of this thing.
This behemoth of a man looks at you and like throws down whatever they had in their hand, and everybody else like starts laughing, and he kind of stands in front of you and he is like, what kind of dwarf are you what's wrong with you? Away from you before I squash you even shorter than you are.
I'm just trying to learn about the game. Just as trying to learn the rules. I'm learn first day.
Learn somewhere else. You are not welcome at our fire. Go away with you.
Is this one of those like look with your eyes, not with your hands kind of a situation? I do apologize. Perhaps someday I will.
This is one of those. Look elsewhere, or you'll never look again.
Oh dear. Well, my apologies. I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and I'll just find myself to the door. Thank you very, very much. And just short legs, just like quickly scuttle out the tent or whatever.
All right. What is Edda doing in the meantime? Well, Agda's nearly getting herself blinded.
Right?
She already kind of put her foot metaphorically like in her mouth earlier. So she's just kind of quietly eating and listening for any pertinent information. And then when someone said, oh, the sorceress sent a reply, that's when she's just going to kind of casually ask a reply to what, and then see if they'll kind of just continue the conversation naturally. Even with her just kind of butting in.
Okay. Maybe a courtesy roll?
Okay, we'll try it. No pips, no favor.
Oh.
Hope exists and it allows you to spend it.
I think
Hope
we're running a little low on that.
I don't have any to spend.
That's a shame.
Like so none to spend?
I have 5 and I have 3 shadow right now, so I'm
saving
my 2.
I have 4 and 3 shadow.
You got 5 to spend. It's right there.
No, you're crazy. Spending my hope to help during the travel phase. Oof.
Okay.
I mean, 1 and you wouldn't be miserable yet, so
6 failure.
Okay. So like one of these again strange folk that you think you've heard once or twice, they're referred to as Easterlings, which is something that you all would know vaguely what that means, but maybe not specifically. And one of the figures says, like looks at you like strangely, and just to see if she would ally with us. You fool! Kind of question is this?
New first day.
Then let me give you some friendly advice, Dwarf. It is first day for you. Speak little.
And in response, she doesn't say anything. She takes it to heart.
You see, like, he'll grin at that. Good. Perhaps you will make it to a second day, after all. And then they go back and they start laughing here. They also speak in a language you're not entirely sure, like, 'cause they kind of cut over to whatever their own internal languages are. A couple hours pass out here by the fires, and you see it again. People start drifting off and finding places, some of them just there along the fire to roll out and sleep. Some of them you can see go to tents, others go into buildings. Some barracks and such you can see have been set up for certain people, not everybody. And so at a certain point, very late, the only ones that seem to really be awake are the guards that seem to patrol the walkways at the tops of the fences, or the walls, I should say. And everything is very, very quiet. Do the two of you just turn in, or do you have designs on other things?
EDDA, should we... I was not successful getting any information, were you?
No.
Perhaps we try to stealth up a bit in that direction and see if there's anything that we can see, or if we're going to have to find our way out of here at some point, we might want to look about and see if we can hear something, or if we can perhaps find a way that we can make our exit at some point that would not be right back out that front door.
Yes, but Agda, we made an oath.
We sometimes
you know more than I about oaths in the series. He took our blood.
I mean, I don't believe that we will find ourselves in a situation that we will be in direct opposition. It's not like we're going to switch sides or anything. Like, we are essentially all on one same side to fight against the shadow.
But who says if us leaving counts in their mind as fighting against them?
We don't know necessarily, but I would like to know if there is an option if the time comes. I'm not saying we leave tonight or anything, just scope it out a bit.
Do you think Sin and Medwin and CALVAIN are outside?
We have to believe that.
We didn't even determine a place that we were going to try to meet. Maybe we try and see if there's been any... Well, no. We're already under watch to an extent of... I'm having a hard time talking with anyone here.
Me neither. Just... I think we're used to our dwarven charms taking us a bit farther than they happen to be here, but you're right. So I think at some point we should try to see if there's anyone new that's been brought in. Keep an eye out if they've made their way in the proper way and didn't get themselves thrown in prison. But I think tonight, see if we can sneak around a bit and perhaps hear something of what's going on up there. Gather some information. And maybe we look for a way out another day.
We can try, but... And, like, Edda kind of pats herself. She's a very jangly person. And, like, she's not built for stealth. And she just kind of, like, pats her belly, and, like, her beads in her beard, like, jingle. Her bits of armor that she wears, clang. And she just kind of looks at you like, we're stealthing. What do you think?
Okay, so where are you stealthing to?
If we're able to hear anyone kind of talking more about what's going on up at the
Sounds like
meet in
Agda
hall
wants to go
area.
up in the tower.
Everyone's kind of started to go to bed at this point, and the only real activity is along the walls. If you wanted to try to sneak into the tower, you could certainly do that, but you haven't seen the messengers come back out, so that would require you guys like kind of sneaking into the tower probably to get any information.
Perhaps you're right, sister. Perhaps we
Maybe
go to
we
bed for the night and
stay up and see if they leave or when they leave. Do they seem agitated? You know.
like that. Find a place to pretend to lay our head that we can watch and listen.
I feel like we rushed into this without maybe doing enough reconnaissance beforehand.
Yes, it was quite different. Going into Moria, we didn't quite know exactly what we were going to expect, but we could hide a bit more and be successful in our search. But this has definitely been a bit different, more of the politics here. But I like your idea. We will keep watch for the messengers to see if they come back out in the night and listen to what they might be discussing on the way out.
Okay, so you're going to sit around and wait. So we're going to cut back inside of the prison.
We're sitting around and waiting.
But we're also sitting around and waiting. Would anybody in the Fellowship like to actively do something?
Yeah, I'd love to use craft to try and finagle something to get these fucking manacles off me.
Okay, I like that. Give me a craft roll. I'm going to give you a -1 on this just because you don't have as much flexibility as normal. You could probably grab like a rock or something and file it down and maybe make a... But I'm going to say -1 to this. And it also is kind of dark in here. But otherwise, I think that kind of makes sense.
The dark actually helps me because I have the Dwarven trait.
That's right. Okay.
So just one penalty die?
Yeah, it'd be -1 just because of the manacles kind of limit your movement.
Yeah. Oof. Failure with a 7.
Okay. You are unable to get the actual manacles off. And what was your dark for dark business?
You guys see Medwin Calvin and see her get increasingly irritated, like she's visibly annoyed.
So just so you know, like dark for dark business is the thing that you're talking about. It means you're inspired, but you can't tap into inspired unless you're spending hope. So you might want to be careful about how quickly you roll. So like if there's something you want to tap into, you can spend the hope before you roll it. Because if that was the case, if you would have spent the hope, you would have had 2 extra d6s to roll. So you would be rolling like a d12 in 3 d6s as opposed to a d12 and 1 d6.
Yeah,
so you didn't actually even get the effect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But I don't think I would have spent hope. I don't have very much.
Okay. What about our elvish friend or our Bjorning friend? Are the two of you looking to do anything?
Yeah, that last Valor check put my shadow over my hope, so I was looking to spend some of our fellowship points to recover hope, so I'm not miserable.
Okay. So yeah, this is... So if you guys want to take a prolonged rest, you are welcome to do so at this point, especially those of you that are in the prison and are just kind of like resting at this point. So that means that you can recover all your lost endurance points or a number of endurance points equal to your strength score if you are wounded. I don't think we have any wounded people right now.
No.
It also allows you to... Is anyone out of hope? Or any of the 3 of you completely out of hope? You have 0 hope.
Not completely.
No, I'm at 4.
Okay, so in that case, you guys don't get any natural regen, but you can spend fellowship right now, and you can spend any number that you have fellowship points to distribute an equal number of hope points among the player heroes, but everyone has to agree on that distribution. So I think that's what Long is trying to do right now. So
yeah, I'm requesting 3
I would
hope
like to do that
from
too.
the fellowship.
You're spending 3?
I would like to get 3, yeah.
We've got 8 total. I know EDDA said she's running low. I'm running low. Sin and Agda, how are you two doing?
I've got 4.
Also 4.
Yes, I'm also at 4. I'm going to grab 1 at least because my shadow's getting higher and I'd like a little bit more of a buffer.
Yeah, you don't want me to. I'm going to go from 4 to 5.
All right, so that's 2. Long, you said you're taking 3?
Yeah.
It's
So
5
that's
total.
5 total there. That
3
leaves us
more
with
left
3
to go.
fellowship.
Okay. So we'll say that those of you in the prison, if there's nothing else that you guys were doing during the night, because we're saying you're resting, that's fine. Maybe you doze off, you actually sleep. Eventually you'll be awoken by the sounds of like the clattering of the jail cell. And you'll see like a streak of light come into this otherwise dark place. And you see these 3 like heavy, like tall, like heavily armored, like tall, powerful looking individuals like come to the door. 2 of them will come inside. 1 of them will stay by the door, and they kind of pick up that slop. And like one of them takes that giant bowl of slop, and which is now mostly empty, and he'll drag it out. And the other one that comes inside will just look with his hands like right on these two blades that seem to be scabbarded in like the front of his coat here, and he'll say, "Is there anyone who wishes to take the oath and taste sunlight on their faces once more?" And let me see if I can roll a little d12 here. Okay, and you hear a voice from the shadows. "I would take the oath." And others are like trying to pull him down as you see this dirty blonde covered in like soot and grime that is now much more visible because these guards who came in have light. And "I will take the oath." And you hear the guard, "Do you swear? Do you swear to protect Amon Boglir, your brothers and sisters in arms? Do you swear to listen to the commands of Lord Mogdred? Do you swear to fight the shadow growing in Dol Guldur? Do you swear this on your life?" And this guy is like almost groveling at the feet of the guard, and others are like, "Don't do it. No, don't. I swear it." And then a big, greasy, black-toothed smile from the guard appears on his face, and he reaches down and he lifts the guy up who just swore. "Then welcome, brother. Welcome to the garrison at Amon Boglir, to Tyrant's Hill. Come, let us get you washed and get you real food." And he just kind of shuffles the guy to the next, and there's this weak smile on the woodsman who kind of gave in. And then the one who called for the oath turns back around. "Are there any others who have wisdom this day? Perhaps
Will you let us out of
tomorrow,
here
then."
without the oath?
What? No, my friend. You take the oath here, and the doors shall open for you. All of them within our garrison, in fact. There is no negotiation here. You take it here, you take it now, or we'll return tomorrow and ask you again. What say you, elf?
Then I'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow it is. And he turns and like kind of backs through the door, and you hear the as this thick, heavy metal door just closes against, and you hear all sorts of locking mechanisms behind it. And the room once more is almost completely dark, aside from that small sliver of light coming in below.
It was
And
just
you
the
hear,
2
like,
guards.
It was 3 total. 2 came in,
One stayed out.
One retrieved the big bowl. One of them called for the oath, and one of them hung by the door. Like, you could definitely tell they were alert and ready for strangeness.
Armed.
Yeah, they were all armed and armored. So now, the three of you, having rested, having seen your number depleted, what would the three of you like to do now?
Well, let's see how well this place holds. Have we checked the walls at all? Sin, can you take a closer look?
I can. And she is going to make an attempt to see if there are any weak spots on the wall that can be exploited.
Yeah, this would be a scan test, I think. That's what we'll do. Again, make sure if you want to spend anything, we do it before we let the dice flow.
No, I'm not going to right now.
Okay.
Sorry, let's finish
so
this.
I actually did not need
You rolled
your help.
extraordinarily well. Yeah. Extraordinary success. That is a 26. You needed a 17. You needed a 16. And you have 2 bonus dice. Okay. What you notice, I'm going to give you a couple things since you've got all these bonus successes. Most of this cave, as I said before, is natural rock. The one exception seems to be the ceiling, which when you get kind of closer, or when when you stare at it enough until you can actually see, there does appear to be like some patchwork in terms of like some kind of foundation has been laid, which would lead you to presume that there is something built above this thing. Like you are subterranean, and there is a structure built above this. So that's one thing you would get. You notice that one of the walls on the southern side, you think I'm just going to call it southern for our purposes, right? On like the southern side of the room, there is where this odor seems to be emanating from. There is a crevice in the wall that you realize is kind of weak, and you can kind of break little bits and pieces away from the wall here. The rock comes free, almost as if whatever gas is seeping through it is starting to corrode the rock, and this seems to be the weakest point. And then I would say for like the third thing I would give you, the ground seems very sturdy. So like there doesn't seem to be any weak spots in the ground. The weak spot does seem to be that southern wall where this fume is coming out.
Right. So she's gonna share that quietly with CALVAIN and Medwin, and say there seems to be some give above us. There's something above us, maybe a guard tower or something, but there's also this crack on the side of the wall, but a gas is coming through it. It smells noxious, but I don't know what effect the gas might have, but that is a wall that appears breakable with some force.
So that's where that smell was coming from.
Yes. So it's usually when something smells awful, it's a sign that it doesn't just stop at an awful smell. Something else is in play, and the smell is warning you off. But it might be our only chance. Unless we're going to risk whatever is up top.
There's no time like the present.
Do we
They just came with this slop and to ask for oaths.
Either way, we're gonna need brute force. So up top or on this side.
They just came with the slop and to ask for oaths. They won't be back again for another full day. If we wish to make use of our time, we should start now. Trying to chip away at that wall.
Here. Medwin, we lead the charge. Start chipping away.
I start punching a wall, Minecraft style.
Okay. Let's do a little skill endeavor, and see if you can get this done before the day is done and before the guards come back. I will tell you that if there is a disaster, if something goes horribly wrong, it would be discovery. Like, I think that's obvious, right? So if you roll horrible, we're talking like Salarons and stuff like that, terrible rolls, you guys could get discovered. But I'm going to set this as, I'm going to say enough time. So I'm going to put the time limit at 5. Because it's not like you're trying to do it basically in a day. I'm going to set this as a daunting goal, as you don't really have tools. So you're kind of doing this with your bare hands. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm up for a variety of skills here, depending on how you want to do it. So that means basically there's going to be 5 rolls. And by the end of 5 rolls, you all need to have hit like 9 successes. And I'll tell you ahead of time that if you fail to do so, then you won't be able to do this again until the next day. Okay?
All right.
Who's leading this off?
I have an idea.
All right, man.
To get started with, we got 20 prisoners here. And I would like to 19. Try and 19. Yes. You said about 20, so I was banking on 21 so that we'd be down to 20. But, if you want to make the math harder, that's fine. I would like to try and rally them as best I can to help. Like, there's no need to take an oath, to swear an oath, to break whatever oath you've already given, to work for this man who works with wargs, this man who's truly evil. We do not need to serve him. And I would like to try and hearten the group and motivate them to help us, because the 3 of us chipping away could possibly do it, but with 22 of us, there's a lot more odds of us getting through in time.
Sure. I am going to penalize this one die, because they have been here for a while. They just saw one of their own give in, and their spirit is breaking. So it's a little harder to get these to do so. But I think this is great. Yeah, go for it.
Just thinking if my distinctive features tap in. I don't think they do. If I was actually working at the wall, I would try to say tall, like I could reach it better towards the roof. But I think with Enhearten, it doesn't really apply. So I'm just going to rip it.
Okay. All right. You can still spend the hope anyway, just to get a +1.
Yeah, I need to maximize that when I'm inspired, though. I'm running low.
Oh, fair enough. That's a lot of dice.
Wait, it's favored. Okay. It was almost a Sauron.
Okay, that's terrible
bad roll.
Yeah. You find yourself meeting a significant amount of resistance. And they will say, no, we cannot do this. It is fine. They feed us. They do not torture us. They do not harm us. Perhaps they are right to say that we were trespassing. We sometimes take those who are near Wooduseld, who do not have permission to cover their lands, those who would make trouble. And we have jails, and we ensure that they are punished as well. What difference is it? No. Clearly we were the transgressors, and we will serve our time. Yes, and we will not break. We will serve our time. We tell you now, warning. Do not bring ire of the folk here. Careful what you do. We will not stop you from doing it, but we will not help you. And you notice that he speaks for a decent amount, but not everybody. Like, some folks will come and help, but not as many as you probably would have hoped. Just a couple stragglers here and there. All right.
That is a fair narration, considering I rolled 2 1s and a 2.
Yeah. Sin or CALVAIN, time limit of 4. 4 more rolls, need to hit 9.
I'm thinking of doing some awareness. Maybe keep spot at a door, see if any noise comes by. Try to make sure that whoever's nearby will not hear what we're doing.
I would prefer something that's a little bit more, that's going to somehow progress it. Like either like Medwin was getting workers to help and that would progress it, or like physically doing something would progress it. Like you keeping guard, like I get it, but at the same time, I don't know that progresses anything.
Okay, I'll just do athletics then. I'll just do physical labor.
Yeah, I would take that.
Okay, I'll apply. Let's see. It's not night. Are we would it count if we're in a forest, but we're in a jail, really?
The jail is in a fort in a forest.
The jail is in a forest.
Am I still in the forest?
But they did completely wreck all the trees in the area. Bald spot. I will give it to you because we were technically in Mirkwood. Like if you look at the map, we are in Mirkwood, so I think it's fair.
If an elf is in a prison in a cleared forest, are they still in a forest?
That's a riddle there. I'll play my Folks of Dusk for an automatic success.
Okay. And then you can roll to see if you get any extras, because you definitely want extras. All right. The strength of an elf.
And I'll throw an extra hope in there for funsies.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
You did just take 3, so you got some.
Better make use of it.
Maybe I can give you a hope as fellowship focus. Because then you get
okay. Because I'm inspired. Or not inspired, but you're my fellowship focus. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's 2 more dice.
Got an extra success out of it, so great total.
Hell yes.
So 2 total successes? Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I would say that maybe the 2 of you begin just peeling away and just trying to widen that seam, and you find yourselves breaking the rock, and much of it crumbles very easily under your hands. Like the strength of your hands, both of you being fighters, both of you having good strength. You widen it, and you realize, like, as you're progressing, like that stench is just overpowering your faces. You more than once you maybe grow a little nauseous, especially you, CALVAIN, with like enhanced elven sensory perceptors and such, eyes watering here and there. But you are very clearly making progress, and it does seem as though that crevice, that crease, does start to widen a bit the deeper you go, if you can just get back there further and further. But it is slow going. Okay, you've got 3 more rolls, and you need to hit 7 to be able to get this done.
I wonder if I could use craft to assist with either the blocking of the smell or digging the thing deeper.
I think digging makes sense. Blocking the smell would be counterproductive to what you're trying to do. So,
okay.
But I think definitely for digging, absolutely, craft would, I think, makes sense in this case.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a failure.
Your
right,
rolls, man. Your rolls.
Feast or famine.
I know, right?
Yeah, you know it widens, but as the more you start to break away these rocks, the harder it becomes. It feels like you're just getting this exterior layer that seems to have gotten very crusty. But then the deeper you get in sort of pulling the rocks away, the sturdier they become and the harder it is. If you just had a pickaxe, this wouldn't be hard. But trying to do this with your hands and just with the pure strength, more than once, you probably like cut yourself here and there. But you were unable to make any progress during the course of the day. 7 is the goal still, and only 2 rolls left.
I don't think I should go.
All right, I gotta make up for my last bad roll.
Okay.
Medwin rallied as many people as he could, which wasn't very many, but it was the best he got. Now it's time for him to put his back into it. Put up or shut up. And he's gonna, if I could do athletics too, and just start taking a shift from CALVAIN argue for my distinctive feature tall that I can reach like this crevice up higher a little bit easier. Yeah, you said it was like towards the ceiling, right?
Well, no, the crevice is in the wall. I said the ceiling. You could tell. She could tell that it was
okay.
like you were built beneath something.
I misunderstood.
I don't know that tall helps you with this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say I don't think
taller people have longer arms.
Some of them do, but not all of them.
Medwin does. I described it
one
as
of your
lanky
distinctive
several
features,
times.
long arms.
It's part of being tall.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure that movie is long legs, not long arms.
There you go.
Medwin,
Ashley convinced me.
I don't need to rest yet. I can still help, and I will give him hope or aid him with as his fellowship focus.
Ooh.
Okay.
Thank
So that's
you.
2 extra dice
Hell
coming to you, Medwin.
yes.
You guys should get a poster of Rita Hayworth. Put it over the Fisher. And then you should get that dude you met in the corner named Red to get you a rock
Oh my
hammer.
god, yes.
I'll spend the hope anyways, even though if I'm not inspired. We need the dice. All right, so I'm rolling
Jeff,
5
my
dice on
body's
this.
covered in tattoos. I have the map.
Give me
How to
something
get
good.
out.
Give me something good.
Wait, you're doing Prison Break? I was doing Shawshank and you're doing Prison Break, but Prison Break works too, for sure. Oh, that's so many dice and only one success there.
I've had so many bad rolls in a row.
Yeah.
A single success.
Man.
5
Slow
dice.
going still. Like you saw Sin took a break, you step in, and everyone is just like hammering away, cutting their hands, cutting their like people are ripping fingernails out of their out of their sockets and things. They're doing everything they can, and some of them are like picking up the debris that you managed to crumble and trying to use that instead of just their hands. And to some degree, it works. It's just such slow going trying to do this with hands. You have one more roll left. The whole day has been spent doing this, and you've got 6 more to go. And you realize you're not that close to where it widens a bit, but you're confident it does. That is the one bit of hope you have, is that if you can just get through this stretch of narrow fissure, there might be a way out behind this.
This
so
is such a fucking stretch, and you should absolutely say no. But
Okay.
I wonder if I can. Yeah, actually, I wonder if I can pick up where Medwin left off, with rallying everyone and trying to either get more people involved or inspire people who are involved through song.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Dwarven digging song?
Yeah, I'll take that. I don't think it's a stretch at all. I think that makes sense.
Really?
I think a dwarven digging
Thank
song,
you.
like for sure. I think that totally makes sense.
Thank you. Okay, song.
I thought you were going to say like travel. Like if I go to one side of the cell and then run towards it and then put my shoulder into it, is that like travel? No, that's not travel.
Is this our last roll? You might need to put
This is
everything
your
in.
last
This is
roll.
my last
Yeah.
roll. So if I'm either of your fellowship focus, and you have hope that you can throw my way.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll spend my last point of hope. I think it'll make me miserable, but I'll give you
is it your
a
last
fellowship
point?
focus for 2 dice.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Medwin the broken should be miserable.
Yeah.
That sucks. Feel bad what's about to happen to you guys.
Just the rolls. My goodness.
Just get 6
Yep.
successes and it'll be fine.
I'm not doing Ashley. I'm not looking.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
you
a
got a great
Gandy.
success.
It's
Got
a
a Gandy and a
Gandy.
great
A Gandy
success,
should
which
count
is-
for like 5 successes, right?
It
like
really
it's a
should
Gandy.
not. That doesn't make sense at all.
Look, Belle
Okay.
is incredibly smart and beautiful and right.
I agree with all of that, but what you said was not true. Okay, by the time you hear the sounds, the guards coming once more with your nightly slop or whatever it might be, or like maybe they're coming to sort of do like a nightly check-in, and then you get like slop in the morning, and like everyone is starting to fall from exhaustion. You can see the 4 or 5 that agreed to help you have given up, and they're like, It is hopeless. My hands, I cannot feel them anymore. And it's things like that. Like they're kind of, they're falling down into their corners, and like people are tired. They're bleeding. There's the hope still, as with like the last pull of the night, you break a decent chunk of rock, and it almost creates like a hole in the back of that fissure that's as big as like a person's head. It's still not enough to get anyone through, but as you are hit by the heaviest waft of that odor yet, you're able to hold your breath and maybe stick your head in, and you can see that there is this kind of undulating passage that seems to wind down into the earth and away from this cell. And you have the full confidence of Gandalf to know that what you're doing will result in some kind of exit. You still don't see the source of whatever this foul smell is, but at the very least, you're doing it right. You've just run out of time, and everyone's too exhausted. I need the three of you to make valor tests.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As you spent another day inside of this prison with no light, no sun, no stars, no moon, no friends.
Oh my gosh.
Just slop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I rolled a sorry.
Steven, do you have any region for the hope?
Just the
It's only the
fellowship.
fellowship.
No success.
Yeah.
All three of you take 2 more points of shadow.
Ooh.
I got a sorry. Does that matter?
Not like it's not going to change the amount of shadow. It just goes towards Eye of Sauron situation. For the Eye of Mordor, whatever it's called. Eye of Awareness. That's what's called. Or Eye Awareness. Okay, we're gonna cut then to Agda, EDDA. You had stayed up as late as you could to try to glean something about the messengers, but unfortunately, no one came out of the tower. The only activity was on the on the walls themselves. Eventually, you probably, I would assume, went to sleep. So the two of you can go ahead and do your prolonged rest, as we're kind of a little out of order, but you can do your prolonged rest. So get your endurance back. You can get it all the way back up unless you're wounded. And don't forget to, by the way, for all of you, you can reduce 1 fatigue as well, as you all did a long rest as well. And do either of you, EDDA or Agda, want to spend the remaining 3 fellowship points to try to get hope back?
Yeah, Ashley, what are you at? I'm at 4 hope currently and 3 shadow.
5 hope, 3 shadows. So I'll hold off. I'll wait.
You should take 1. Like, we clearly need it. Like, we should each take 1.
Okay.
So we've got 1 left. Actually, I should let the sheet automate this. Prolonged rest. I'm going to recover 1. No, it didn't drop it. Okay. 1 left.
Morning comes. The two of you are called to work once more. And so we see a day of labor for the two of you. Agda, I think you go back to the charcoal burner to Heswith. EDDA, you're once more on stone duty. And so you're kind of moved back into the sort of the masons that are kind of repairing or refining areas, especially of the tower. Are the two of you like listening or trying to glean any information throughout the day? Okay, so I'm seeing nods. Let's start with you,
Yes,
EDDA. What is
sure.
it what are you trying to learn, EDDA?
Since I'm working closer to the tower, I'm trying to hear if anybody's heard anything about the messengers that came through. Are they still meeting with Mogdred? Did it seem to go well?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Will he do like an announcement or something eventually, like during a meal time, or
okay,
just kind of gleaming?
You can give like maybe either an awareness or maybe an insight, something like that, if you wanted to roll either of those. You'll get some things because there will just be conversation happening, but the roll is just to see if you get some extra things.
Let's see. Let's rip it. Damn, I'm not rolling for shit. Sauron, Jeff.
Good. Well, no,
Oh,
you're
it's
favored.
favored.
So
Oh, favored.
Instead, it's
Thank
the
God.
1. You rolled a 1 and a Sauron. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm having a day.
Okay. You don't get any kind of announcement. Mogdred does come out of the tower, and you can see that there are 2 of the people from that group of messengers that are walking with him along with others of Mogdred's inner circle. They don't walk immediately past you, so you can't quite overhear what they're saying, but it does look like they are, at least on speaking terms. And it looks as though like Mogdred is kind of giving them a tour and like pointing out various things that they're doing. Like it does seem like he's trying to tell them about how that they're building this place up. So it doesn't look as though they were like summarily rejected, but it does seem like he's trying to entice them or convince them of the strength of Tyrant's Hill. What about Agda? Agda, what is it you think? Is there anything in particular you might try to glean or learn throughout the day?
I would say that Agda wants to see if there are, any of the results of our crafting that sort of like needs to be delivered out somewhere. So she's kind of listening for folks who may be kind of whispering in alleys or, something about kind of like regretting taking the oath or like wanting to leave or, just some dissatisfaction, basically.
Okay, the first thing I can tell you, just for free without a roll, is that nothing that you are crafting is being delivered anywhere. It doesn't seem that there is any kind of trade system set up, at least as it currently stands, with Tyrant's Hill. Everything that they are crafting, everything that they are working on is exclusively for this place. The second thing, insight test, I think, would be a good one again.
Okay. I'm seeing if I've got anything that will help me with this. When I've been trying to find a way to work in as burglary and I just haven't like actually burgled something for that to work.
You have to actively say that you want to go burgle something.
I know.
Instead, you are passively trying to eavesdrop on everything.
Go steal their words right out of their mouths. Burgle the words.
Right? That's the problem.
Go steal some prison keys.
All right. How'd you do?
Yeah,
Jesus, you guys can't roll to save your lives.
No, today is bad.
You do not. No one in any kind of conversation that seems to be in earshot of you ever admits to regretting taking their oath. However, you do overhear a conversation or 2, or maybe even 3, about the oath is the best thing for them. There's no way that, and like maybe you hear this once or twice, like, I'd rather take the oath than spend nights in the prison like those 3 folks that we captured last night. And so you do hear that apparently the night before, 3 folk were captured trying to like infiltrate Tyrant's Hill, and they were thrown into prison. But nobody, it doesn't look as though there's anybody around that you might be able to get help. Like, oh, you hate your oath, I hate my oath. That doesn't seem to come out.
Okay. Not being said publicly, but I do know that a motley crew found their way inside.
The day passes and your work of labor passes. I'm going to say that each of you go ahead and roll a d12. Both of you roll a d12.
Okay.
So that's Edda and Agda. Sorry, I should have been more specific. Okay, and whatever you rolled, take that
8.
amount of endurance loss from just the exhaustion of the day.
Oh, I was so excited for rolling high. I'm no longer excited for rolling high. I got 8.
When you find
as my loss.
When you find each other later that night around a campfire, with very little to share, but you do have some to share to each other. You again are sitting at this fire. You are eating some kind of stew that seems to have been made by what looks like a camp cook. Doesn't look like you ever have to. Food is just provided. You have a moment to each other again. And you can see that the same things that were happening the night before are happening again. People gambling, people laughing, people drinking, people fighting, the snarling and howling of wargs nearby. Again, it's just another night inside Tyrant's Hill. What are the two of you talking about? And more importantly, is there anything that the two of you actually want to do this evening?
Have you found word of our friends?
Yes, I came across most unfortunate information that there were 3 poor souls that were thrown into prison just yesterday, and it could certainly have been 3 other poor souls, but chances are it was our 3 poor souls.
We should go find them.
We should. We're going to have to find our way out, though I still don't know how we're going to get out. I still think we need to try to stealth around and find a way that we'd be able to get back out again, so that when we get them out of prison, we can make a beeline for somewhere, have a bit of a plan.
Okay. And Edda's hearing you, but she's mostly just focused on, like, they're here, and I want to find them. So she will probably get up confidently, look like maybe she's heading to her rooms, and, like, kind of, like, look back to see if you're going to follow her or not, and she is going to probably just start not sneaking around, because she is allowed to go places, but, like, confidently looking to see if she can find where the prison is.
Yeah. Give me a scan roll, I think, because you're looking for something out of the ordinary kind of deal, or some evidence that the prison might be in here. You don't know. Wow, you have a lot of scan.
Yes. Great success. Finally.
Yay.
Okay. It makes perfect sense for you. You were working on, like, one side you were working on, like, the west side of the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, when you go to the eastern side of that hill, remember, it's a giant hill, and then the tower just almost seems like carved out of it. So it looks like rock, and then this, like, stone as the tower sticks up straight. You do notice on the eastern side that there is a heavily guarded entrance, like this big heavy door that seems to be cut into the base of the hill underneath the tower, and it goes into the tower itself. And maybe at one point, you overhear something about a new prisoner took the oath today. How many more do we have in there? Exactly 19. Not 20, not 22. 19 specifically. And 3 just last night. And so maybe you kind of hear that as you're passing by, and, like, they kind of look at you as you approach, or as you, like, just move by, or like you're walking casual, and they don't call out or anything, but you can definitely tell they clock you as you walk past, and they give you, like, a curt nod,
and she'll do the same.
Yeah, and then they'll go back to talking as if this isn't anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, so they seem to be at the tower I've been working on, just the other side.
Yeah, it's a very big hill.
Is.
Yeah, it's a very big hill, and, like, cut into one side, like, recessed beneath the hill, there is this heavy door that goes underneath the hill, and it is heavily guarded. There's, like, 3 guards out in front of the hill itself.
Okay.
All right, and then Agda, was there anything that you would be looking to try to accomplish this evening?
I'd say about 2 things. Like, I want to find a way to get more information about what happened with this messenger. Because, like, if we're going to try to leave, I want to make sure that we're leaving with, like, new information. So, like, I want to try to get information about that. So I would like to engage some folks in conversation and try to get information about that.
Okay. we'll say, is there a particular person? Like, do you want to try to talk to Heswith, or are you looking to just anyone?
I mean, if Heswith is willing to give information, that I will certainly kind of go back to Heswith and see if he's kind of spoken with anyone.
So while Edda is away, we'll say that you scoot over to where you see Heswith is with some others, a couple woodmen and such. And they're like talking, and there's a little bit of laughter, but there's an unease to it. Definitely not mingling at all with any of those Easterling warriors that are moving about, but also at the same time, they don't seem particularly frightened of them. They're just not intermingling much. But he looks up at you, and he's like, Agda, come, join us. And he kind of like just gives brief introductions to like the three people who are sitting around. How are you finding your second day?
Productive, falling into a pattern as one does when you have work to do that keeps you busy and makes the day go quickly.
Indeed. Good. Well, we are happy to have you. You and he like sings your praises, because he runs like this charcoal burning area near the smith, and he'll like kind of sing your praises. It's like one dwarf working in the smithy is as good as 3 men. So we just need a few more of you, and we shall have this fortress ready in time for whatever it is Dol Guldur decides to send our way.
Has anyone heard anything about the scuttlebutt of the day with the messengers coming back with the word?
You see, like, there's cautious exchanges of glances. Give me a roll. Could be a courtesy roll, could be a persuade roll. I'm open to other options if you have something, but the idea of just kind of ingratiating yourself to people who don't know you all that well yet.
Yeah, I would say persuade, and I would like to try rustic, where like I'm not seeming like I'm a smart person, but we've had a day of work, and after the work, and I'm not like staring at them. I'm not kind of making too much eye contact, just trying to make sort of like workman conversation at the bar at the end of the day kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, I like this. Go ahead.
All right. I am weary, so there is that. I am spending a point of hope, and I will be inspired. So let's see how this roll goes. Oh my gosh. I am so thankful that I am weary and not miserable, because if I had been miserable, because I did roll sorry, so it would have been an automatic fail if I had been miserable. But thankfully, I'm just weary. So extraordinary success, by the way.
Okay. Oh yeah. So Heswith kind of turns to one of the people he introduced you to, and this is Winfled, and like this woman with this strong jawed face, like this big strong jaw and these strong cheekbones, and you could see some kind of tattooing along the sort of side of her face, and all sorts of braids. She'll look to you, and she'll say, I work in the tower. I heard that. I'm sorry, what? What was that? Are you from Wisconsin? What? Do ya? Oh, gee.
Don't you know?
I heard that the sorceress Zimmerfell is her name. She is the lady, the leader of Minos Rock to the southeast. Some call it the Demon's Tower. Mogdred appears to have interest in aligning the two towers. Apparently, the sorceress is not as easily pulled back to the shadow as others within the Mirkwood. Like Mogdred, she has a mind of her own. And Mogdred, I believe, hopes that the two could find an alliance and keep the fortress of Dol Guldur from claiming their territory. Zimrafel did not come herself, but she sends good wishes. It appears that an alliance is possible, and soon the messengers will be leaving the day after tomorrow. From what I overheard, Mogdred is very encouraged by the communication that he has been given from her messengers. It appears that she is searching for a particular treasure, and he has promised what he has in his hoard to her, the pick of whatever it is that she would require. So, some of the messengers, 2 of them in fact, have been going through his vault and searching for items that perhaps might be of interest to Zimrafel.
Well, I can certainly understand someone being interested in a particular treasure. That's a interesting trade that there wasn't something else of interest for protection or more political alliance, but straight treasure. This is very interesting information.
It is not just gold and gems, but something of power.
Power, you say? And she's trying to, again, not look too eager and interested, but...
And Winfred just kind of shrugs. That is what I heard.
It's used to good craftsmanship being a treasure in its own right, but something having some added powers to it that's most interesting.
The treasures in Mogdred's vault he had taken from the vaults of Dol Guldur before he left. And from other places as well. I don't know that they were dwarf crafted, but there might be very powerful items indeed.
And Agda's looking down at her, whatever it is that she's eating. If she's got, sort of like a hard roll or something, and like her eyes definitely are lighting up, but she's sort of like keeping them down, kind of like, eyebrow raises, ever so stealthily here and there at the discussion of this treasure. Well, but you say they're going to be leaving here in a day and a half or so.
After tomorrow, yes. To bring word back to Zimrafel.
Very interesting. What's your, did you get yourself a job up in town and not out here at the hard labor of it?
I was one of the first to give my oath, and I serve well.
Good on you then, save yourself some of the sweat and the toil out this way.
Sweat and toil are good, and it is exceedingly hot and very laborious inside as well as out here. I do not shirk my duties or run from them.
Oh, neither do I. Winfred, you said your name was?
Winfred.
Winfred. Nice to make your acquaintance.
And we'll like kind of fade out of that scene. Just maybe we see like EDDA coming back at that point. And again, once more, as the night progresses, we start to see everyone drift off. They find their sleeping rolls, their tents. The lucky those that are in the barracks, the buildings themselves will kind of go over there. And once more, the night is quiet. Only the guards that are patrolling, the howls and snarls of the wargs and the savage hounds and the pens. Is there anything more that either of the two of you would have hoped to accomplish tonight?
Oh, I still want to try to find a way out, but I just had a good roll. I want to kind of end the RP day on a good roll. EDDA?
You know what? Yeah, why don't I just do some walking around? I'm gonna be maybe yeah, just from the inside. I'm just gonna kind of walk around. If anybody asks me, I'm just trying to familiarize myself with where things are located.
So is there something you're looking to? Is there something you're looking to glean? Is there a particular piece of information you're looking to get? If you want just to get a general layout of the fort, that doesn't require a roll. You can do that without any issues. But if there's some other like hidden piece of information that you're looking to try to glean,
hidden is there like a portion of the fortress that maybe isn't as heavily under watch or guard?
So if we were to like sneak them out, we could like hide out in this particular place.
I'm not gonna have you re-roll this because like we've already done some of these types of rolls. So what I will tell you is that they are extremely well trained.
Okay.
Shifts seem to happen on regularity. No one really seems to shirk their patrol duties, their guard duties. And you can tell that most of the guards that are on the walls are in that Easterling armor. Some are woodmen, but not many. And they never seem to like abandon their posts. They never seem to slack off. They all seem very well drilled and very well trained. That doesn't mean that there aren't ways that you could potentially disrupt some of their overlapping guard patrols, but there isn't like an obvious like, oh, no one pays attention to the southeast corner. Nothing like that. Like it's all very well covered. Yeah.
Then maybe, is there anyone out and about training physically, or is it too late in the evening, or is that like more of a
you catch
thing?
Really what you see at night at most is like a drunken brawl. You don't really see proper training. During the day, yes, you've definitely seen that there's like sparring that's happening, there's sword work that's happening, bow work that's happening, and then you can certainly see that there are several that are being trained to become beast tamers and work handlers. So you can see those types of things during the day. It's like there's a good portion of this that very much feels like a military fort. Okay.
Then maybe she spends her evening, she does do the casual walk of like getting the general layout. I won't ask for that yet, but then she goes to bed. I think tomorrow my plan is that I'd like to join a spar kind of thing. Or no, maybe not. We'll see. I'll think on it. But that's
sleep on it.
That's brewing in my brain.
Okay. So we'll say then that the night passes for the two of you. You can do your endurance. You can go ahead and heal your endurance, get a fatigue back. Are there any fellowship points left that either one of you wants to spend in this case?
Okay. We do have one left. If
the other group is doing the same thing, you are also doing another prolonged rest at this point. So there's one more fellowship point if anybody wants it to try to get a hope back.
Medwin, you're at 0, dude.
I'm at 3 under. I've got 5 shadow low. I wouldn't mind taking it just to boost it, but it's not going to make me less miserable.
Okay.
By the rules of the game, give it to me.
Medwin the miserable.
Yeah. Okay.
We can't fix a personality trait, okay?
I always say I don't roleplay.
we're going to cut back then to the prison. And we hear the clinking of keys. We hear the sounds of locks and bars being undone. And the door swings open once more. And we can see like a bit of slop comes out and everything. And the same, maybe not the same exact 3 guards, but the same process happens. One person watching, guarding the door. One person coming in with the food. One person calling out for oaths. Do any of the 3 of you want to give your oath?
No, Medwin would try to make a little bit of a scene, though. When he calls out for oaths, Medwin would stand up and say, "Not today. Today you claim none of us."
Okay. And you do hear the sound of a voice, a frail voice. He does not speak for me. I will give the oath. And you see, as you stand up and try to make this scene, like no one's going to go, this old man, kind of a little hunchback a little bit, comes plodding forward and tries to push past you.
You don't need to do this, friend. We're together in this.
No.
There is hope. There is always hope.
And no. I am hungry. I am tired. And I don't want to be in the dark rations anymore.
I am not hungry today.
No. No. Make a persuade test.
Could I argue in Hearten instead, like trying to give him hope?
You could.
Yeah, I could. All right.
Yeah, you could argue it.
Hell yeah.
But can I roll it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've got very few pips in Persuade, as in 0, and a lot more in Hearten.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
My dice suck today, but that is still a success.
None of us.
Just a regular success. 4 dice, and I got a 17. No 6s.
Man.
And at the mention of you, like, giving over his rations, like, you're giving over, like, your share of the slop, he'll think about that, and then the guard will call forward, and he'll call out again, What was that? Nothing. Nothing. And then nobody else gets up. And then the guard will be like, tomorrow, then. And then the 3 of them back out of the cell once more, and you hear again the same complex locking and barring, and you have this big bowl. The light comes in through the floor, very, very, very only tiny sliver, and then you guys begin doling out as best you can the different foods. Medwin
turns back to the group.
Yeah.
And he says, today he will go up and he will tell Mogdred that no one gave in. They will see that there is resistance. They will see that there is still fire here. There is still strength within us. We must cultivate this flame. We must grow it. We will beat them.
And there's like the people that agreed to help you yesterday, like they're like nodding in agreement and like, yes, what the Burning says is true. We are strong. And then you can definitely tell that there are others that aren't as sure. But at least for today, they seem to agree with you. Go ahead and roll a d12.
Ooh. D12. This is how much endurance I lose for
See,
not
this is
eating.
when you want the 1s and the 2s.
Yes.
I got a 2.
You're going to take 2 points of endurance basically for not eating for a full day. Just stomach cramps and pains.
Way to roll badly.
Okay.
Good job.
That's all I do today.
Okay. So is your plan to continue to try to like break through this fissure?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna set the goal at 4 this time because that's where you left off from the night before. I'm gonna put the time limit at 5. Just like the day before, it doesn't look like anyone's coming back. We haven't done anything to warrant bringing other people back out of schedule. So the group that you asked to help before, they come over. Maybe a few of them are doing like kind of what CALVAIN had suggested. Maybe a couple of them are just by the door, just listening in to be lookouts, and people rotate and take turns as they grow tired. Maybe a few more people help today, but then others, especially the older folk or the people who've been there the longest, maybe they're less enthused and kind of stay in the corner and are, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. Don't know what's down there. We could be going from the barn into the fire itself. Here we know the evil. We don't know where it goes. And so, like, there's this kind of bickering that happens. But work continues. So who would like to take the first crack at this?
What if I can do song again? Second verse of Diggy Diggy Hole.
Okay. I'm a dwarf in a digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole.
Diggy hole.
The Return to Moria survival crafting game, the dwarves actually do sing when they're digging at ore. It's a nice touch.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Ooh, right on the number.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
So that is one success, and you definitely hear everyone kind of pitches in, and maybe like it's a bit of Kudzil, or maybe you switch over into common here. Like you say dwarven words in a dwarven song, and you make references to dwarven lore that no one really gets, and they do their best to pronounce it, and they don't really fully understand what they're saying, but there's a rhythm to it, and it does seem to give people something to do in the dark. And you can kind of hear more voices than yesterday begin to echo. What about CALVAIN or Medwin?
I'd like to try some scan today. Be more mindful of where we're hitting and getting through. The weaker spots, not just brute force through every rock.
I like it. Okay, for sure. Precision. All right. Yeah, give that a roll.
Okay. And I'll apply the auto success to guarantee one.
Okay, sounds good. And then roll again to see if you get more. Or roll on top of that, I should say.
No extras, so the one.
Okay. Hey, still progress. Mm-hmm. So the goal is down to 2. One of the things you notice is that where there's that big hole that you guys had produced the night before, and it doesn't look as though any of the guards noticed it. They didn't come in and inspect. They didn't do like a full inspection. Looks like they're confident that no one's going anywhere within here. But you do notice that it kind of created a bit of like some weak spots here and there, that if you could just sort of smash in along the sides, like a whole huge chunk could start crumbling. And you even notice like some veins in the rock here and there that suggest, okay, this is where it's strong, this is where it's weak. And you start directing people to smash here and smash there, pull from there. And while it's not just creating a really big hole, you're more systematic in trying to create like this moment where you're going to be able to just kind of plow through by weakening the surroundings of what you're trying to open up. You're effectively creating like a door frame, and then you're going to push through the middle once enough of the foundation has been damaged. What about Medwin? Medwin, you've got 3. We have 3 more rolls.
Yeah.
We need 2 more successes, and you can definitely tell that progress is being made.
Sin has us on rhythm. CALVAIN's telling us where to go. All that's left is someone to start, chipping away. So I'd like to just do athletics and do the brute labor here, and turn my luck around and get a D6.
Okay.
You got this.
Hell yes, you do.
No D6s. I rolled
success.
Barely a success. A 14 needed a 14.
Yeah, same as me.
Progress.
It's still 1. Yeah.
Okay. Still progress. You're still just hauling like these big chunks. You notice now that there's like a hole at the top. There's now like kind of a hole to the side, and you get this thanks to CALVAIN's thinking of trying to create these weakened spots. You're able to pull from the wall a relatively big boulder. Like it's like the size of, maybe a large melon of some kind that you just pull out, and it's quite heavy, and you drop it down nearby. And had you any hobbits in the group, one of those could probably sneak through. But since all of you are much larger, even the dwarf is probably too broad and stocky. None of you are able to get in, but it's definitely closer. You guys need one more success, and you have 2 chances to do it, assuming the first try doesn't result in disaster. So, who is feeling confident?
With that setup, everyone's going to volunteer.
The work is done, Medwin. There's only one last thing to do. Rally these men. Getting out of here.
Okay.
You hear a ward barking from the distance. Medwin take minus 1d6.
Sorry, that's Pippin.
Pippin's a warg?
We needed a hobbit.
Yeah.
I would, if we're like that close to breaking through, that's a good point. I would try to once more try to rally people, especially the people who like were on the fence or like close to giving up. I would tell them, we've almost made it, and I have heard you talk about what could be on the other side. We don't know what's on the other side, but we do know what is here. Here is death or a life of servitude for a man that would lead you to your deaths. There is hope. There is a fighting chance. We can fight. We can survive. We can escape. We can see our loved ones again. But we have to believe that we can do it. If we have hope, we can succeed. Who's with us?
And I'm going to give you a +1 on that. I like this speech. So yeah, give yourself a +1d6 on that. That was a good speech.
I got to start practicing my speeches. Get more d6s.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys like role play stuff before your rolls, I have the leeway to give you stuff.
I got a d6 for the first time today. I rolled a 30. Great success.
Ooh,
You see the
nice.
man that you had given your food over to, the old man with kind of like the hunched back. He'll get up and he'll be like, "What the Beyonding says is true. We are woodmen. We are not children. We are strong men and women, and we will not perish here." And you see he'll like start moving over, and you can tell like the clinking of the manacles, like it's rough on him. But he comes over and he starts pulling away rock, and then you can see the next person stands up, and the next person stands up, and even the people who have been retreating into the corners, who have been negative this whole time, finally get up. And now everyone is pitching in, rotating who's listening once or twice, like whoever's doing the guarding is like, and everyone quiets down, and moments pass, heartbeats gonna go a little wild, and then you're given the signal to continue again. And with one kind of final shove, there's this as all of the rock come tumbling down into these pieces, thanks to that use of CALVAIN's scan, and you're able to just haul it away, leaving this opening. It's maybe about 4.5 feet tall and a couple feet wide, enough for everyone to kind of crouch under and like walk through, or at least go hands and knees, right? Do you go?
Let's go.
Absolutely. Let's go into the egg gas fumes.
Yeah, wait
It's
until
a
the
one-
nighttime when it's dark to go out.
Hey, don't meta.
That's not meta. That's just
We don't know if it's dark or not. We
narrative.
can't see.
They have no idea. It's
You
always
have
been
no
dark for
idea
them.
what time it
Oh,
is.
oh, it's at 2
my
a.m.
bad.
for all we
I
know.
see. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do I have to tell you to take your headphones off? Because I'll do that. I've done it before.
I believe you.
So one by one, you either crouch and walk through or crawl through. And much like you were able to see through that hole at the top, that head-sized hole that now has opened into this larger group, the thickness of the wall is not nothing, but you're able to push through that crawling space, and it opens up. And you see that you are kind of standing in this rough patchwork, this little pocket of rock. The smell is even worse here. And you can see that there is this undulating tunnel, this winding tunnel that is now in utter blackness because you are so far away from the door that gave off the only bit of light. But you can still see like a little bit of reflection bouncing off some of the glistening stone. but it's going down into even blacker darkness. It's an abyss. Do you all plunge into it?
Sin does.
Plunging.
Can you craft up some lights and anything?
Is there
Spark.
anything around?
Some cloth.
Any minerals or anything in the walls? That
I mean, there's plenty of rocks in the walls. People
luminescent.
wearing clothes. Yeah. There's no real. I mean, you tell me. Tell me how you want to do this. Tell me how you would fashion a torch from this. I'm open to ideas.
I actually don't think it's a torch. I think it's feeling for the edge of the wall, like going along the perimeter.
Oh, I mean, that doesn't take a roll, but that's not going to provide light. Like,
No.
there's no light to be had.
I don't think it doesn't make sense for her to be able to make light.
Okay.
What I'm
So
getting
slowly, one by one, you guys feel against the wall and begin descending into this abyss. We're going to cut then from there, back inside the fort. Another day of toil for Agda and EDDA. Are there any things that you're trying to do during the day as people are working and going about their business? Stonework, metalwork, etc.?
I was hoping to use like my knowledge of stonework and such, and maybe just like the general layout of buildings to see if I could identify where maybe like an alternate exit for this potential dungeon could be.
You would know that it wouldn't make any sense to have an alternate entrance into a dungeon.
Okay.
So I would say like there isn't one. There's no
Valid.
reason to think there is one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, Meta want to float something by you and have you say
here we go.
how.
What does Zuckerberg have to do with this?
Yeah.
It's a stupid joke.
So there was a conversation yesterday that was had with someone who's calling is a treasure hunter about the fact that there are some people that are looking for a particular treasure. So would it be ingratiating or real bad for a treasure hunter to offer treasure hunting skills to the leader that this treasure hunter has, promised fealty to assist in the search?
You want to talk to Mogdred and you want to be like, hey, I'm a treasure hunter. I
have skills in this area and could assist. But it's one of those things where it's like, if this is going to be like, no, this is really horrible and you're immediately thrown in jail for like hearing this information, then I will pass on it. But if there's a possibility of like, okay, it's not like immediate
give me
death
either
to somebody.
A courtesy roll or give me a courtesy roll or persuade roll to even get an audience with Mogdred.
Okay. So I'm going to do a real dumb thing. So I'm going to spend a hope to call on my distinctive feature of treasure hunter, which is going to make me miserable.
You want to do that
persuade
right now? You want to do that now, or do you want to save that for if you actually get an audience with him?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, I want to roll persuade. Oh man, here's where I get thrown into the jail that they just broke out of. Come on. I got it. Great success. 17 over 16. There was a 1 in there and I was really concerned.
You go up to the tower and you ask to see Mogdred in the morning. And there is this tall, slender, black-haired woman with these dark, like dark makeup kind of underneath her eyes. You can see no helmet on. And so this black hair flows relatively freely with these thin braids, and she stops you at the door, and she says, "Okay, I have to get into my what's that? What was the name of my character from Conan again? I don't remember the original one. The Zamir. I am Zamir Zat. right? I am
He
Gunk.
just always had knives everywhere, despite not wearing any
knives
clothing.
everywhere. And
Yes.
he had no clothes. Samir Azad, because that's like the voice that so I keep trying to go back to that because that's what. And she says, "What is it that you come here today for, Dwarf?"
Yes, I believe that I have been serving to the best of my abilities and using my crafting skills, and I do not presume to be above what my station is here, but I have heard that perhaps the skills of someone like myself who has gone out into the world as a treasure hunter might be useful in this particular time.
Yes, you sound much like a treasure hunter, not a diplomat. But you should be one. A politician, perhaps, for you say in 100 words that which you could say in 5. You want to be reassigned, is that it?
If it would, and she'll start and yes.
You wish to go hunting abroad, bringing glory and treasure back to Amon Boglir, to our Lord Mogdred, is that it? Yes?
Well, I had specifically heard that there were some treasure being sought locally to help with a alliance.
Oh, you speak of the sorceress Zimrafel. That treasure has... it is in the vault. So, if you're pitching, can you be one of the people who goes and searches through the vault upstairs? That seems to be a non-starter. Like, that's like, they know what they are looking for. Rest assured, if it is in our possession, they will find it. But, should they not find it, it might be in Lord Mogdred's interest to have a treasure hunter go seeking it.
Yes. Any way that I could serve.
Come with me. And she leads you inside the tower. And you've been in here before.
Yep.
Start winding up. You can see the different rooms. Some of those, there's some busyness in here. Maybe you pass by Winflet at one point. She kind of gives you a curious look. And you are taken once more into that kind of banquet hall room where you can see food again has been laid out. Some of the messengers, you can see 2 of those messengers are eating along with others of the inner circle of Mogdred. And you can see Mogdred is at the table as well. And like there's a bit of conversation and some laughter and such that is going on. And at a certain point, he looks up and he notices the 2 of you. And he says, Vashde, what is it that you are here for? And why have you brought a dwarf? They should be in the smithy, should they not? And the woman who is standing next to you, I am sorry, Mogdred. This dwarf has made a curious offer. I think it perhaps is something you should listen to. And you can see his eyes like kind of go up into his forehead a bit. And he looks around and the messengers show no sign of anything. Like whether they care or not care, they're stoic as can be. All right. And he again does that thing where he just kind of slaps his breastplate. What is it, dwarf? What is it that you want?
I have...
Speak freely.
Yes, I have skills in treasure hunting, and I believe that...
You are a dwarf, are you not? All dwarfs want treasure. And they all just start laughing. Like even the messenger guys, they all start laughing. Greedy that they are. Treasure, treasure, treasure. But they don't seem to like do it in a way, like they're all laughing, but they seem in good spirits at the same time.
Yes, but I am a dwarf that has actually traveled out in the world, and given that I've made my oath to you, I could go out in the world and search treasure for you.
You wish to go find treasure to bring back to me. Back to our Mogdred. You wish to bring glory to us. Or perhaps is it that you wish to leave? Perhaps it is that you are regretting the oath you have taken. Perhaps you are wishing to abandon your post, the brothers and sisters you swore to protect. Perhaps that is what this is, a ruse, you see. What say you? Is this dwarf lying to me? Is this dwarf trying to renege on the promises she made to me?
And you can see like others at the table. Some are just saying she's a liar. She lies, oath breaker. And others you can see are saying, hey, dwarf is a dwarf. They have a nose for treasure, like the wargs have noses for the kill. And so there's a lot of bit back and forth. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a council.
Oh gosh.
And you
Just
are
me.
the only person. You didn't ask to bring Edda. So it's just going to be you. As you are specifically asking for something. So,
You can do it, Val. You can do it.
Okay.
Oh,
So
God.
your goal is to try to convince him to let you leave, and then on his behalf, go treasure hunting to bring him back treasure. So this is not a reasonable request because you just swore your oath. I'm going to call this a bold request, which means that the resistance that you need to hit is 6.
Oh shit.
It's pretty bold of you to come and ask this so soon after your arrival. So go ahead and give me an awe, courtesy, or riddle roll for like the introductory thing. I'll take some like so like basically what you do as like the introduction to sort of set like the time limit basically. You normally awe, courtesy, riddle, but I'll accept something like because you kind of already pitched something. So
I can do awe. Yeah.
Okay.
My TN's a bit lower
tell them
for awe.
because you have mentioned you've been to Moria, like you did mention that and everything before. So yeah, I think awe would be pretty good.
Okay.
Let's do that.
The question is, do I use it now or do I use it later?
Okay, so this is just going to set the time limit. So I'll be transparent about what the outcome could potentially be. If you succeed, the time limit that you have, which is the amount of rolls that you get to hit the resistance, is equal to the resistance of the council. So in this case, 6.
So 6.
Plus 1 for each of the success icons that you roll. If you fail, the time limit is equal to the resistance of the council. And if the council ends in failure, it ends in disaster instead. And so disaster in this case could be you getting thrown into prison.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Or your head getting lopped off and put on a spike. One of those two.
Yep. No, this is definitely like high ceiling and low floor for this.
That's a Gandhi I saw.
That's a Gandhi.
Okay.
No additional 6s.
Okay, so then the time limit is 6. So you have 6 rolls to get 6 success icons. So he has laid out a charge that you are just trying. This is just an excuse to break your oath. How do you respond to this? As he is staring you down, and it's very hard to get a read on how serious he is being.
Yeah. Goodness. What am I good at? I'm trying to sort of play into the setting and like using like riddle and lore to kind of impress people. It's also things that I'm good at. Trying to think. Yeah, if I can, and I don't have this in my brain, so this is kind of character being better than player, but like a story of like a dwarf who had to make a difficult decision and, kind of stuck to their oaths and, like that kind of a thing. So like, that's kind of where I would go with
Dwarves
kind of,
don't break oaths.
Yeah. So, Did I sell you on lore as being appropriate for that? Because I'm storytelling.
I'll take it this time, but I don't want to just keep doing lore every time.
No.
Okay.
Just the
All right, I'll take it this time.
Okay. 3 pips in lore. Let's see how I do. Another Gandy. Heck yeah, but no other successes, unfortunately.
All right. So you regale them with a list of maybe your heritage, right? Maybe you talk a little bit about your mother and your father and various members of your family, the oaths that they took, the oaths for vengeance, the oaths for duty, sworn oaths here and there, and
dying for those oaths even.
And dying for them.
And he will say, that is a very interesting story there. Dwarf, that is a very interesting tale. You have a very impressive lineage. But it is not your mother that is here. It is not your grandfather or uncle or cousin who was here. It is you. And I know for certain that just because you are related by blood to one does not mean that you are the same. Blood connects people, yes, but it does not define you. So you might have their blood in you, but do you have their honor? I don't know. I don't know.
Not only do I have their honor, I have information. I have the knowledge to go out and explore on your behalf that they would not have. So I'm aiming for an explorer. Like, here are places that I've been, places that I can go, ideas that I already have where I could go and find treasure on your behalf.
Like this more as a persuade, but I will give you a +1 to it. Okay. If you're going to reference, like, you've literally been into Moria and you came out with this and that, etc. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, come on. Great success. Got an extra.
2.
Yeah. So that's 3 successes in 2 time?
Yeah. When you mention Moria, you notice one of the messengers looks at the other, and then at you, and then over towards Mogdred, and they speak up. The dwarf has been to the Black Pit. What did you find? Tell me.
Well, it's quite overrun here and there, but we were able to, and she'll kind of describe the, kind of different areas that they went to, and that they had, I will share what they had already found as some of the treasure there, like the mask and whatnot.
The dwarves are very renowned for their craftsmanship, their smithing.
And then you can see there's this hesitation.
Their jewel craft. Yes?
'Tis true.
So he looks over towards Mogdred.
Zimmerfell would be very interested in some of the treasures found in the Black Pit. Some very specific ones at that.
And you can see Mogdred at this point
Well, perhaps there is something to this. Perhaps we shall send treasure hunters into the darkness that is Moria. The question, though, is still whether this dwarf, who has been here 2, perhaps 3 days, is the best one to lead it. We have far more trustworthy folk here, folk who have made the oath, and who have not within days come here seeking to leave. We have folk who have bled for Amon Boglia, for me already. Why should I trust this one to go out there in my name.
So, what say you, Agda?
Trying to look at other skills that I haven't used yet.
You can repeat stuff. I just didn't want to just like keep going back to
No, totally.
All right.
Like I kind of want to go in the direction of I'm thinking craft or travel.
Travel is not going to work.
Okay. Like craft, I would say.
Craft I would take.
That,
specifically because of what this messenger seems to be very interested in, jewel crafting.
As I've already mentioned that I know the way to go, but also you, in the time that I was not here, I have quite honed my skills in craft, and that is not something that is easily replaced by someone else. That is something unique to me that I would bring to this.
Okay. Give it a roll.
All right. Favored 3 pips. And then it's another Gandy, and it's a great success. So 2
How many
more.
Gandys is that? My goodness,
That's
look
amazing.
at you.
Resistance
3
is down to
Gandys.
1. And you have 3 more. Yeah, the limit's at 3, so you have 3 more opportunities. And so,
That is true. You are a dwarf, and if a dwarf is going to head into Moria on our behalf, if anyone is going to do it, then a dwarf. Yes, that would be very useful. But how do we know that the treasures that you find you will not take back to this valorous family that you have so glowingly sung about here? How do we know that they do not come before your brothers and sisters here in Amon Boglier?
but you can tell, like, he's getting swayed. And, like, the messengers are saying, are like they speak to each other a little bit in, like, a different language, and then they kind of translate a little bit more verbally. It seems like Mogdred doesn't need the translation, but, like, they're saying it for you. And they're like,
You'll have the craft. You know how you have dwarven skills. You are jewel crafter. You are lore master and jewel crafter and treasure hunter. These are very useful skills. She would be most useful for Zimrafel. If you do not wish to send her, you could make a gift of her to my mistress, and that could perhaps sway. Well, let's not get too hasty. That is a very interesting offer, but I would want to remind you and your mistress that the dwarf has made an oath, and oaths are not taken lightly in the halls of Amon Bogli. So, dwarf, say it now and say it plainly. If I discharge you, or if I charge you with heading into the depths of Moria to find more of their treasure, and to find more of jewel crafting.
and then there's some kind of exchange. And the messenger, like, clarifies,
ring smithing. To find more information on ring smithing, this is a charge that you would take for me, for Amon Boglier, and you would not, under any circumstances, give that treasure in that lore to anyone else, yes?
and you're at 1 resistance, but you have 3 chances at this. You could still roll a disaster here. So how do you try to win this?
I would say, that would be risky. I would like to go back, I think, to awe.
Okay.
That I have proven my lineage. I have proven my skills. And I give you my word that back to Moria is where I will return. And this is for your glory.
Take a +1. Like, that's specific for your glory, I think, is exactly the right kind of thing to say in this situation. Okay.
Oh, great success.
He leans back.
It is done. You are no longer working in the smith. Tomorrow, you will leave. You will find your way to the halls of Dwarves' Vault, to the pit of blackness. You will delve in plunder on our name. I assume, then, that you wish to bring the other dwarf with you, who swore oaths together with you.
If it was not too much to ask, but I do think in your wisdom that 2 dwarves going through Moria may be better than 1.
And you speak for this one. Everything you have promised to me, she must do as well. And if she does not, her errors, her deviance, and her lies and mistrust shall fall on you. Do you agree?
Agda keeps a straight face with this and just says, "Indeed, I swear it."
And it is so. You may go.
You have bestowed much honor upon me. I will not fail you.
You may go.
And she leaves quickly. Sorry, Ashley.
But before you go, do you ask, because he knows the rest of our party was out there somewhere, do you ask to see if we could have them? Or is that pushing your luck too much? Just put that in your brain.
Yes, no, it was back there, but I was going to ask for you, and that would probably be where it would end. But
just to ease your
now we got 2
mind,
campaigns happening.
the 2 of you made an oath. They did not. So, yeah. Okay, so you guys are going to play on Fridays, and the 3 of you will play on Saturdays.
They're going to Moria. We're hanging out in the Mirkwood, completely different directions.
Yeah.
Which is also very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Okay. So you depart, and we'll say you find EDDA relatively quickly. EDDA, what had you been doing while Agda was away?
promising your souls task.
Making a whole other set of promises.
She had been kind of working a little bit closer to the easternly side, as close as she could get without getting in trouble, and just continuing to try and eavesdrop to hear if, like, Medwin, Sin, CALVAIN make any ruckus. Like, she's eavesdropping on the guards, essentially.
Okay. You hear a story at one point from them when the guards come out and they're like, what new oaths have been sworn today, brother? And someone's like, none today. Perhaps we might have had one, but what do they call them? A Bjorning spoke and convinced them otherwise. He could prove to be trouble. We could feed him to the wargs. Yes. Should he speak tomorrow, we will take out his tongue and we shall feed it to the wargs. And it's hard to tell whether they're joking or not.
Yeah. She probably, like, as she's, like, trimming a stone or something, has to take a moment to pause lest she mess up, because, like, that's Medwin. Like, how... And so her immediate rush is like, I have to find Agda and get this done. Find Agda. We need to get them out of there.
And you see Agda coming down the stairs from the entrance into the tower. And the two of you come together. And we don't have to role play it out. We can just say you fill her in on everything. And as we fade out of that scene, we see the two of you just chattering back and forth. We're going to cut back to the prison crew, who have been for God knows how long, have been descending this cave with no light, with only like their hands. I need all three of you to make a D12 roll. Whoa, sorry about that.
8.
Okay.
10 for me.
Oh, goodness.
11.
Okay.
You're supposed to roll low. What are you guys doing?
So you said 8, Sin, is that correct? Did I hear that? Okay. Take 8 points of endurance loss. Yeah, take 8 points of endurance loss. Medwin, take 10 points as you rolled 10. CALVAIN, you are reduced to 0 endurance. As perhaps you are leading the way. And this is what happens. The elf is out front. Who can see better in the dark than a Mirkwood elf, right? And you're moving, you're listening carefully. You hear sounds. The smell is getting stronger and stronger. And then you hear, it almost sounds like maybe dripping, like the sounds of water perhaps. And as you kind of lean in, you lose your footing and you go falling and falling and falling. And it feels like you might be falling forever. And then smack against this rough ground. And everything goes fully black now as you lose consciousness. Medwin, Sin, you're immediately following CALVAIN. You hear him as he falls. And you hear him eventually smash below, maybe 30 feet, something like that below. As this cave that you've been seems to just empty out now into this much larger cavern of some kind. You can't see anything. You can only hear some sounds here and there, some dripping, some other just kind of strange bits of ambiance. And you know CALVAIN, and when you kind of call back, maybe you call out to him, nothing comes back. What do the two of you want to do?
Sin, I can't see a thing. Where?
Me either. Something happened. Something happened.
I feel my way forward, hopefully to like the edge of the ledge, and I'm blindly grasping like probably like my stomach on the ground and my arms over the ledge, just trying to feel like if there seems to be like any sort of like approach down that I could try to like stumble my way down.
You start to feel not just rock, but it feels like fiber of some kind. Roots, maybe? And you kind of reach out and grab some. They're strong, but also like some of them crumble in your hand. A few of them are quite large. And you start to feel them not just along the walls, but they seem to be going down as well.
There's some sort of root system here. It couldn't be from the trees. We've gone too far down for the trees of the forest to have roots this deep, haven't we? What could be growing here?
Perhaps we've been going up.
Well, there's definitely a ledge that goes down. I'm gonna slowly like swing my legs over, and I still like have one arm on the ledge, and I try to hold onto a root and test its weight before I fully give my weight to it and try to like start climbing down.
Medwin do that.
Okay. You start climbing down. I will say
while he's doing that, to help, can I pick up a stone and throw it where I think
At
there's a
CALVAIN?
gap.
You suddenly hear, oh!
Past, well,
Coup de grace.
yeah,
Yeah.
just me. Oh shit! I might did helping. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Can I call out? It's like Call of Cthulhu all over again for poor Lon.
What? That's what
Falling
he
in the
gets
pit.
for missing a freaking session. I'm just saying. Okay. I've already done endurance loss, so I'll say part of your endurance loss might be you make it, and then you slip, you fall like the last 10 feet, and that's where maybe some of the damage comes from.
But I'm
and you
tall,
start-
so it's really only like 7 feet that I fall.
You start groping, you start groping around on the ground, and eventually you feel the leg of CALVAIN.
I like pat my way up, and I like when I get to his face, I try to like put my hand over his mouth to feel breath, if he's still breathing. And I don't know much first aid, but I would like to try and heal any like obvious wounds, or at least like slap him to consciousness if I can.
Sure. You can. Let's see if you can get him up. You can roll. You can just roll healing.
Healing. I got 1 pip in this CALVAIN, so I'm sorry, but you may not.
May I make a suggestion? Because I'm going to penalize you 1d6 because you're doing this in utter
It's
darkness. However, there are roots. So bits
that
of
you can
bits
burn.
of, and there's lots of stone. If you wanted to try to get a fire going, you might have some tools at your disposal finally.
Sin. Those roots, they crumbled in my hand, they're dry. Do you think you could get a fire going?
I can try. I'll throw a craft roll at it.
I would say you don't necessarily need to roll.
Okay.
I would say that you can. It just takes a little time, but you'll maybe clump up a bit of it, like you're creating as best you can in the darkness. It takes a while. This does take a while, and then you clink a few of the stones together until finally there's a bit of light that catches on the stone, on the roots themselves that you've gathered. And this orange and reddish and yellowish glow begins to flicker in this small little pocket of space amidst a massive underground cavern. You cannot even see the light reflecting off the other side. You can see some kind of pool that extends out from you, and CALVAIN landed on like this hardened ground, which you can see, and he's got scrapes and bruises and things like that, but it doesn't look like he was impaled on a rock. You can give me a healing test. That's fine.
Steven, you're muted.
I am talking into a muted mic. I think he comes to consciousness
After
with
an
1
hour.
HP after an hour anyway.
Yeah,
So this
I'm
might
gonna
just
give
be
him-
more narrative than anything. We'll see how it goes.
And if you succeed, I will give him maybe an extra couple of endurance.
I didn't. 11
Okay.
failure. I did get a 6 though, but it didn't matter.
You try your best to get him back, but you don't necessarily. This isn't your forte. You patch his wounds. You can tell he's alive. And in the time it takes, but then you kind of give up at a certain point and you assume he'll come to, but it not by your hands. You see sins gathering more. You see more of the people are climbing down, hopping, and eventually, like, you're able to kind of get everyone down. And as you're looking around, you can see there is this vast and almost like breathless darkness in front of you. And you can see that there's this kind of great black pool that is, there's no current in it, but you occasionally hear, it sounded at first like a drop of water dropping into a pool or a puddle. But now that you have light and you look out, it's more like a bubble coming up from below the surface, popping. With the bit of fire now that you have, you can see that the surface is very still and it's glistening and glistening. And this clearly seems to be the source of the stench. It's some kind of massive, like, tar pit. And if you get to the edge of it and maybe you fashion together some torches, you don't have much and they burn quickly because these are roots and they're not branches and they burn very, very fast. You can see that there are no other ways out of this large chamber than across this black morass. And you can see somewhere towards the middle, but not the far side. It looks like there is this tangle, this massive tangle of old, gnarled-looking tree roots that seem to have woven themselves together and are sticking up out of the middle of this blackened pit and fraying outward, almost like it's a tree unto itself. And as you're staring out at this and doing your best to cover your mouth from the stench, feeling this like rank, this decay, and wondering how the hell you're going to get out of here, that's when you hear CALVAIN. Your eyes open, CALVAIN. You have 1 HP, or 1 endurance, I should say. Your back is killing you. But everybody's around you, and you can see now, too, because there's light.
How long have I been out?
Maybe an hour.
Long enough.
How many prisoners came with us, followed us?
All of them.
All of them? We got all... There's 22 of us?
There are 22 people here. I thought it was 19. I thought we said 19.
There were 19 prisoners,
Plus
and then
them.
the 3 of us.
Did you not count yourselves as prisoners? I feel like the 3 of you were also prisoners.
I asked how...
There were 20
said
people
22
there
a
to
couple
begin.
times.
Then 1 left. And then 3 more.
I have names for every single one of them and backstories.
Ooh.
You guys just don't want to talk to them. It's fine.
CALVAIN, your elven eyes, can you see any further?
Yeah, maybe we can focus. Nearly fatal misstep. Let's see, a tree? What's going on? And I'll take a look at the surroundings.
Give me a scan test.
Great success.
You notice that there are other smaller branches and roots and things that seems to be growing out of this like blackened morass here and there. And you can see that there are bugs of some kind swarming around them. What you also notice is that in that central tangle of roots and branches, you see glistening things. You see silver and gold and metals of some kind. A tangled treasure of something. Exactly whose it is or where it came from, it's hard to say, but there is something, there's a good horde of things that seems to be tangled up within that weaved together road. And it's quite round. It's probably about, we'll say maybe about 15 feet in diameter. And entangled up within those things are all sorts of swords and shields, goblets, gems, treasure of some kind.
Follow my gaze, Midwind. They're glistening. Weapons, I think. We can make use of it.
It's tools that we can break these manacles. Medwin would go up to this tar pit and he would try to like scoop a little bit to see like the consistency of it, like to see how you could traverse it, whether like it would be like muck or like swimmable. And then also he would try to like flick a little bit onto one of like the torches or fires that we've got going to see how it reacts to that.
It definitely, you can see the flame.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can definitely see the flame reacts as though some of this, it seems, it doesn't like just explode or anything like that, but like you definitely see that the flame suddenly grows brighter and then dims back down.
If there is a branch, a fallen branch kicking around, Sin wants to lie at the edge of the pool, stick that in, and see how deep it goes. If I can feel the bottom.
If you continue to try to measure the depth, it gets deeper and deeper the further you reach. And to answer your
that's
question,
what she'll say. I can't feel the bottom. We have to walk across it.
To answer what Medwin was asking, it is very thick. Swimming is unlikely, but you might be able to trudge through it, depending on how deep it goes.
And Sin does share that it's untenably deep.
You said that there's no real path around as well, right? Like it doesn't seem like there's like a...
You're on this like isolated beach of rock.
We have nothing to make a raft. We have no other way around. We need tools to be able to break these manacles. I see no other way forward. Thoughts?
Well, what if we burned the tar? But that would choke us all out.
I'm the tallest. I could try to wade through it. Hopefully it doesn't get too deep.
She shows him the branch. It's at least this deep.
CALVAIN?
A bit weary, but it's the only way through. I can make it work.
All right, Medwin will strip down, since we were talking about being nudists, to his skivvies, so that hopefully the tar won't like bog down the clothing. Even the clothing won't bog him down even more in the tar. Might have to like cut his pants off to even get them off with the manacles.
Can I try and fashion some kind of rope or something to tie around Medwin while he's doing this?
You can weave together some of these roots. How strong they will hold, we'll see, but you could certainly do that.
I just want to make the attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And Medwin will cautiously start entering the tar and try to like feel, he can't like, I assume he can't like spread his legs that far with the manacles, but just like shuffling through, trying to feel for like the path that may not be as deep, and he's going blind, obviously. It could lead to a dead end, but he's just trying to feel his way as best he can.
So we see shirtless Medwin, arms above, manacled still, wading into this thick, horrific morass, and it's just killing your legs. Like you've been cramped in this prison for a couple days, and every step takes more effort and energy than you could possibly imagine. At a certain point, it almost feels like you're gonna plunge beneath it, but then right about when it gets to your chest, it stops getting deeper. At least between where you were and where this tangle of these old roots have erupted out of or fallen into, hard to say, this pit. And you can see as you get closer and closer the flickering the reflection of the firelight from back by shore. Did you bring any fire with you?
No, because I wouldn't have wanted to set the tar on fire. But would it be okay to say that I like had my hat like full of roots so that I could like start a fire on the other shore?
Okay. It's not a shore that you see, but this...
Or towards the tree, like wherever it comes out of when I climb up.
And you reach this, and you look up, and you can see like a beanstalk. It goes up into the darkness above. And you don't see an end to it. You also look around it, and you can see that the morass continues even further into the darkness. You still can't see the firelight reflecting off the far end of the pool. But you see inside of this tangle is just a horde of treasure, gems. You can see nuggets of gold and silver. You can see swords of high craftsmanship, all sorts of things in here. And everybody else is back by the shore. What do you do, man?
I call back. Take heart. When we leave this place, we will be leaving with the wealth of kings. There is a treasure hoard here. We will share it equally. And I will say, if you walk in a straight line, the same path I did, it'll come up maybe 5.5 feet. I will set a flame here, and if you walk straight in a path, you should be able to reach us safely. Just walk carefully, slowly. Make sure you walk in a straight line because we don't know what's at the edges. And I like start setting a fire like as a small beacon for them to walk directly towards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. CALVAIN, Sin, do you do as he says?
Yeah, and I'll help others that wish to cross as well.
Well, CALVAIN, it's no issue for you.
That's what I was going to say.
You can basically walk on top of this. It's not unlike the thickness of snow and Legolas walking across the snow, so you could have just done this relatively
Medwin
easily.
is pissed now.
Sin, however,
you could do that.
Sin, it's quite difficult.
Sink like a rock.
You sink beneath, but some of the woodmen will kind of help, and they'll be on either side of you, like lifting you up as you go.
Thank fuck.
So as you guys begin to surround this central stalk of this tangle, you start pulling various items out. CALVAIN, I'll give it to you since you're like standing on top of this and you have the decent scan. You start noticing that all of the various bugs and vermin that have made nests and hives within some of the branches and roots sticking up out of this morass begin to frenzy a bit. And those with wings you see lift off and begin flying away. You can see that others start to dip inside of the roots themselves, whereas they were kind of on the outsides of it, and they start to burrow in between some of these larger, thicker roots, finding places to hide. And the stench suddenly grows more potent and more rank than it had been. And you see slithering out of the darkness beyond, towards the other side, which you can now vaguely see the contours of. There is a disruption in the tar as you see something very large beginning to slither in your direction. Large, wide, and then you see this thing rise out of the pit, maybe 15 feet from you. It is enormous. It is swollen. It is glistening. It is pale where the tar does not cover it. It has no eyes, but it is half as thick as this stalk in front of you.
this massive worm of some kind. And you can see it's beginning to inch and segment closer to where everybody is currently harvesting treasure from those roots. And I think we should end there on that. I think this feels like a good end point.
It's too good of an ending point, despite being an awful ending point.
It does. Nice,
Okay.
nice.
As you guys have encountered a nameless thing.
Oh no.
I
forgot about those.
I'll give it a name.
That.
Okay.
You're
Give it
gonna
a
call
name?
it.
Yeah.
You're gonna call it dead soon, hopefully.
Call it daddy.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, daddy. Whatever you say. All right. That is the end. Yeah, we'll pick up on that next time. Man, it's weird. The roller coaster's happening in these two storylines.
Right?
Dwarven sisters gonna get on out there, collect treasure, go back to their lives of treasure hunting, find a new party.
Completely wrote us off, found a new patron.
I know, right? I should let that receive. Yeah. Okay, well that's it. Hope you guys had fun. But prison break.
Thank
guys
you
broke
for
out of the
managing
prison.
both of us. I know that
tough.
can be a hassle.
That's fun. I like doing it because it's like, I just always feel bad because like there's always 2 or 3 or 4 people sitting around doing nothing. So I always feel kind of like it's always in the back of my mind. But
It's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's good. It's all
as
good.
long as everyone's
It's
fans
like
of each
a
other,
live
it works
TV
out.
show. I'm like,
Yeah. You get to
I'm
be
so
front
excited
row.
for you all.
Me too. Me.
Mel having that like
fucking
Freaking
too.
Agda crushing the
Solo
council.
council.
Solo
Yeah.
council.
She was-
Crushing.
3 Gandies.
awesome.
Yes.
Huge.
So kudos to Ashley for the idea. She DM'd me the idea to offer
Okay.
my treasure hunting skills. So
Hey,
sure,
but you did the skills.
credit
You
where
killed
credit
it.
is due.
Yeah.
the
you
roles,
guys
like
both-
definitely.
Two
That was the
Gandies?
story
3
the dice were
Gandies?
telling. 3
3.
Gandies.
One
Oh
after
my god.
another.
What a time
Fuck.
for them. Oh my god. Definitely needed them. Okay. Well, you guys are especially the crew that's beneath the Mirkwood here. You all have very little hope, right? Like mechanically. Very little hope.
Yeah.
One of you has a single endurance point. And some of you have lost decent chunks as well. As a nameless thing
One of
is
us is
now
butt
a
naked.
pale bloated worm is coming towards you.
Okay, you don't need to call
Yeah.
Medwin a pale bloated worm, all right? Like, that's not nice.
I thought you were like a
Oh,
frail,
sorry.
skinny guy.
Pale, bald.
Man,
Blood.
don't you guys regret not staying for a couple extra days in Budasel and talking to all those NPCs?
Yes.
After
Man.
getting
Oh,
all
yeah.
your fatigue back, you know, all that kind of stuff. All right.
Yep.
It felt a little urgent. I think that's why we felt like we
Sure.
had to go instead of lingering. But
Sure.
yeah,
That's always
there's
the
regret.
thing. Yeah, it always feels so urgent.
Just
Oh,
remember
and-
that time's long. Like it's like weeks. It takes a week or 2 for travel, so there's always a longer time. So go ahead,
Mhm.
Melissa.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Chat has mentioned we also have 19 armed people, of course,
Yes,
right?
you do.
Right? 19 other, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
19 people
10
with
of them-
arms.
Keep alive.
10 of them people don't have any arms. They only have feet.
Oh god,
You know how I like arms. I like severed arms.
that is true. You
Fair.
collect
It's
them.
Fair.
It's weird.
Drop that
Old
in
Maddie two
chat.
arms.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's do some closing plugs. Maitre, where can we find you on the internet?
My day plays games on YouTube where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content that centers stream play experience.
Fantastic. Steven, tell us about Huckleberry.
Yeah, I made a game. It's a Weird West action horror game called Huckleberry. Think Hellboy and Tombstone. If you live in the Bay Area, you have 15 minutes to get to Games of Berkeley for their second day of their con right now, and you could possibly play a game of Huckleberry. Shout out to Lucas who's running it very, very soon. So get driving, if you live in the area.
Awesome. Let's see. What else? Oh, We're in Danger. Speaking of making games, I also have made one. And We're in Danger is not yet come to a physical copy yet, but we're going to be doing a crowdfunder later this year to get some funds to actually have a print run. Right now, you can see a development copy over on itch. But if you're interested in actually helping make this thing a reality, check out the link that Melissa just dropped, or check out the description on the YouTube channel or on the podcast feed or whatever it is you got. Go follow the Backer Kit teaser page if you're interested. A horror game, a disaster game, one-shots and quick hits.
And we'll play a little bit more of it on the channel and show it off as well. And some great, amazing art by our friend Ian, also known as Three-Eyed Cat. If you have been in the Lollygagger community for the past couple of years, you'll recognize that name and you'll recognize his awesome art. And then in terms of streaming, we'll be back on Monday with some more Legend of the Mist. Tuesday, we should be back with Wild Sea. I think that's going to be the finale, actually, of our Wild Sea campaign. Thursday next week, we should be picking back up with Chapter 2 of our Coriolis campaign. And then next Saturday, we got more of this. But that's it for us. And have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.